annual general meeting. We are in Fergus, Ontario, Canada, and I would like to formally thank our host, David Hunsley, and his wife, Monique. We appreciate you hosting this meeting. Before I call it to order, we have a message from the Chief, John W. Gunn of Gunn. It is with great pleasure that I send this message to be read out by your president, Chris Wilson. Sarah and I are very sorry that we are not able to be with you in person at your AGM, especially as we understand that the Fergus Games are one of the best in Canada. The last year has been one of change for the clan, a particularly bittersweet moment for me personally as I lost my father, but have succeeded him as chief to this amazing clan. As you will probably all be aware, he successfully laid the foundations of the current clan gun societies around the world, including North America. The North American Society, which you have subsequently built on and turned into the powerhouse that it is today. I too have my own plans to modernize the clan, but you can rest assured that these will not be at the expense of giving up on the principles or heritage. Clan Gunn is not the largest of clans, and it is one of only 2 clans that claim to be descendant of Vikings. However, it is one of the most active in terms of the events and gatherings that it puts on each year, both in the UK and abroad, particularly in the United States. I think you could safely say that in a boxing parlance, we definitely punch well above our own weight. We are also fortunate that our newsletter, the Clan Gun Herald, is the envy of many other clans, and I'm delighted that the Clan Gun societies of the UK and the US are now sharing this same newsletter, which I think gives us a much more international feel. The parent society will be holding the international gathering in July next year. This is only held every 4 years, and we hope that as many of you as possible can make the trip over. Maybe this event you can pencil in, or the 2031 into your diaries. Sarah and I have been in discussions with Chris regarding a visit to the US, and we are currently looking at an event in 2027 where we hope to meet as many of you as possible. Finally, I would like to thank Chris and all the other officers of the Clan Gun Society for all the time and hard work they put in to keep the Clan Gun alive and well in North America and Canada. Though through you, the good name of Clan Gun continues to grow and flourish, and we in Scotland are particularly grateful to all of you for your considerable efforts. My heartfelt thanks to you all. Yours I, John Gunn of Gunn and Banniskirk, Chief of Clan Gun. This meeting is now in order. Debbie Gunn, if you please come and read for approval the 2024 AGM minutes.
Clan Gun Society of North America Annual General Meeting, San Antonio, Texas, April 6, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 8:09 p.m. Central Standard Time. President Chris Wilson opened the meeting with a warm welcome for those in attendance and an introduction of the officers. Those officers in attendance included Chris Wilson, Society President, Mike Pearson, Clan Genealogist, Heather Rawls, Recording Secretary, Rich Gunn, First VP, Past Society President, and Commissioner for North America. Rich Gunn read a letter from Ian A. Gunn of Gunn, Chief of Clan Gunn, specifically for the 2024 AGM in Texas. He and Bunty extended their well wishes and indicated their impending move from Caithness to Edinburgh. President Wilson read a letter from Ted Gunn, also extending his well wishes for the 2024 AGM. The 2023 AGM minutes were read by Heather Rawls. Emmanuel Pencost motioned his approval of the minutes with a second by Robin Wiley. There were no corrections or objections noted. President Wilson then moved on to the officers' reports. President Chris Wilson had no report. First VP Rich Gunn had no report. Second VP Carson Slaughter had no report. Recording Secretary Heather Rawls had no report. Membership, Chuck Jameson. 730 members are on active roll. 262 Emrys and Life members. 455 due-paying members, with 118 of those being new members going back 12 months. 13 courtesy members, Sinclair, UK Gunn, New Zealand Gunn officers. 57 members were lost last year, not including those who are deceased. Annual tracking, 512 in June of 2020, 658 January of 21, 692 January of 22, 729 January of 2023, 724 January of 2024, and 730 of April 2024. Treasurer Jared Gunn. Transition from the PayPal to Stripe is mostly complete, but due to existing auto payments, the PayPal account has not been closed. I encourage commissioners to instruct their members to pay using Stripe. 2023 financial information, $113,993.97 in the scholarship account total. $13,833.70 Clan Gunn North America account total, for a grand total of $127,827.67. A 1,000 scholarship was received to Mary Gunn, and that was in 2023. Webmaster Rachel Wilson. A new website has been launched in August of 2023, and since launching, 3,600 plus users have visited the website from over 52 countries. Top countries are US, Canada, UK, China, and Germany. Over 53% of the users are visiting via their mobile phones. Outside of the homepage and login page, these are most popular pages: SEPs, membership, and regions. Most traffic coming from Google, search, and Facebook. Accomplishments since launching the new website. All current members are in good standing were loaded onto the website. A donate button has been added for our nonprofit. Created a members only area protected with a login. Streamlined membership payment online and integrated it with our website. Added more multimedia to the website and created a better user experience. Reorganization of the games across the continent into a clickable region page. Given volunteer commissioners and deputies a password protected page to store all forms, documents, and resources. Have a single, updated, and streamlined place for AGM information, including online payment. Newsletter. President Wilson indicated that we are still looking for someone to take over the newsletter. However, there is an idea that will be posed when we get to new business. Genealogist. Mike Pearson indicated he had successfully imported all of Abe Gunn's records and has provided a copy of these records to the Clan Gunn Museum in Caithness, as well as to Chris Wilson. President Wilson moved on to the remaining old business of providing members with the ability to join AGMs via Zoom. He reported that it would be difficult to verify active members, and this topic has been tabled for now. President Wilson encouraged members to remember that Clan Gunn Society of North America has a scholarship fund. Only 1,000 was distributed in 2023. New business. President Wilson posed the opportunity for the Clan Gunn Society of North America newsletter to become a joint venture with the UK Society newsletter, which would reduce the cost for Clan Gunn Society of North America and allow greater visibility for members on both societies. All members in attendance were in agreement that President Wilson should proceed to reach out to Roger Mills and Adrian Robinson UK Society with this idea. President Wilson reminded members that Adrian Robinson UK Society was soliciting pictures of Clan Gunn members in gun attire for an upcoming calendar project in the UK Society is sponsoring. In 2025, Clan Gunn Society of North America, AGM, will be in Fergus, Ontario on August 9th, 2025. President Wilson encouraged those that can attend to do so. So the meeting was adjourned at 8:52 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Thank you, Debbie. I only have one correction that I'm aware of. It's Gunn, but you didn't know that. Are there any other corrections to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to accept them? It is so moved. Is there a second? Those present say aye. Motion passed. It's now time for officer reports. Start with the president, Chris Wilson. That's me. My report is pretty simple. We did indeed merge the newsletters. And those newsletters, I meant to bring a brochure with me. The newsletter savings have been so significant that we have been able to put together a trifold brochure designed by Ethan Waterman, and I distributed 17,000 copies of that brochure to the commissioners that requested them, and it should be a 3-year supply, and they're absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Ethan, for that. I had the great pleasure of attending the memorial service for Ian. The next night, we had quite the ceremony to formally introduce John W. Gunn of Gunn as our new chief. It was attended by the Lord Lyon, King of Arms. The Lord Lyon's office was established in 1313 by Robert de Bruce. So to have the Lord Lyon there, it was a great honor for John and for Clan Gunn. While we were there, John asked if I would be one of his commissioners to North America. It's a great honor for me. I joined Rich Gunn in that, and Rob Camp Gunn in the Netherlands as being the chief's commissioners. We're basically ambassadors that represent the chief when he's unable to be at an event, and it is indeed a very great honor for me. That's all the news in my report. Rich Gunn, do you have a report for the first VP?
I don't have anything to report.
Very good, no report. Second VP, Cason Slaughter. Cason reached out to all commissioners and deputy commissioners. The response was less than we had hoped, but put together an educated estimate based on those responses and those from previous years. He estimated that we had roughly 2,340 yearly visitors at gun tents across North America. Of those visitors, we estimate that 875 members of Clan Gunn Society in North America visited our tents. I already added that we'll be distributing trifold brochures to those commissioners and deputies that request them, and we estimate around 4,000 handouts will be passed out each year. So I think we can conclude with confidence that folks are interested in their ancestral Clan Gunn past, their connection to Scotland, and specifically to Clan Gunn. The recording secretary, Heather Rawls' report, well, her report was the 2024 minutes. Membership Secretary Chuck Jameson's report. We currently have 718 total members, down slightly from the 730 last year. Of those, 30 are pending with overdue dues, and he has sent emails and letters to those folks. The 718 includes 12 courtesy memberships, 269 life memberships, 84 new members, with 323 active dues paying members. Treasurer Jared Gunn reports that the 2024 income, the AGM banquet lost $1,507.98. That's not the right word. We didn't lose it. The cost to Clan Gun Society in North America to have an AGM last year was $1,507.98. We had a donation to the scholarship fund of $3,160.75. I believe that donation was from the Clan Gun Society of Northern California. Membership income was $10,214.77. Total income $11,867.54. Our expenses: commissioner supplies $459.32. Executive committee expenses $1,156.11. Games reimbursement to commissioners $2,864. Insurance $525. There was no postage. We had one membership refund of $27.02. Printing and reproduction costs $1,725.10. The Clan Gun store $781.19. Treasurer expenses $392.17. Treasurer expenses for tax filing $201.70. Web hosting $200, with total expenses of $8,331.61. So we have, in addition to what was already in the bank, $3,535.93. Website report by Rachel Wilson. 6,000 visitors to the website, 50% increase over last year. We've had visitors from 66 countries, 14 more than last year, with the top countries in order: the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia. The percentage of mobile users has increased from 50 to 58%. The most popular pages outside of the home page are the SEPS page, membership, history, and the regions pages. Almost half of our new users are finding us from an organic Google search, followed by Facebook. In other news, Rachel is working on getting more information and images of our new chief, John Gunn, onto the website so clan members can get to know him better. John, we need a quality photo, please. My commissioners are begging for one to put on display in their tents, as am I and Rachel. Sorry, that was an ad lib. She's been working on search engine optimization to make sure search engines are finding us. She's always looking for new images and especially videos for our website. So if you have something that could be interesting to your fellow clan members, please let Rachel Wilson know. In addition, if you have ideas for the website, she'd love to hear about them. You can contact her using the contact page on the website. As always, it's good to hear from our volunteer commissioners and deputies about the games that they will be attending. The website will only be as good as the information that you provide to her, so she can then update the map with the games and events that you'll be attending. Thank you for those who are always proactive with this, and if you haven't sent me games information yet, it's not too late. She typically gets the information online between 48 and 72 hours. We have a report from the Gunn Herald, Adrian Robinson. Adrian Robinson is the editor of the newsletter, the Herald. As you will all no doubt know, we are just completing the first year of the Gunn Herald being a publication of Clan Gun Society of North America, replacing the Salute. So I thought I would give you a quick explanation of how things work to give you a little insight. From the UK in, nothing has changed from the regular publication methods, which were already in place, and now necessarily liaising with the North American office holders. The Herald is published 3 times a year, roughly at the beginning of April, August, and December. As soon as one issue goes out the door, work starts on the next one. As our publication date nears, a list of North American print members is provided to the Clan Gun Society, where it is merged into a distribution list. The print duplication goes to the printers, and once printed, it is dispatched to a third-party distributor in Birmingham, United Kingdom, from where it is mailed to the USA, Canada, and around the world. Our print costs and distribution deal is so good that the price we now print and distributed the Herald to the North American Society members cannot be beaten by distributing a newsletter locally. The digital issue is sent out by Clan Gun Society and the Clan Gun Society of North America as individual organizations. The digital master is made in the UK alongside the print file that is provided to North America, along with a release date which is based on 3 weeks after the physical issues leave the distributor. The aim in there is for digital copies and hard copies to get to the end user at the same time. Where was I? Okay. Every issue of the Herald contains information on how to submit articles. This is important, folks. The most common issue is the submission of images. As we do have a print edition, we need to high-res images to maintain the quality. It is simplest if you don't crop photos that you're going to submit, just submit them to Adrian, and then he will crop them as necessary. As well, we must own all images that are submitted. This is a bigger deal in the UK than we ever dealt with here in North America. But if you submit a photo that you own, or images from third parties such as Alamy, we can use those. But you can't take somebody else's photo off the internet and submit them and us use them in the Herald. I am personally very pleased in the decision to make the Gun Herald Clan Gun Society of North America's publication. We, the Clan Gun Society and Clan Gun Society of North America, are autonomous and separate in terms of how we are run, but we remain one clan, one chief. And the Herald, unifying our 2 organizations under that one chief, in my view, is a very positive move. To close, a couple of thank yous. Firstly, a sincere public thank you to Chuck Jameson, who has been brilliant. Everything we have needed doing to make the distribution to America's members work successfully, he has done quickly, diligently, and in exemplary collaborative way. I couldn't ask for anyone easier to work with. He's an absolute treasure. And a huge and sincere thank you to Clan Gun Society of North America members. I have a number of very close friends among you, even amongst those of you who I haven't met in Scotland yet. There are some very special relationships by email. Most special of all is the wonderful way that you get in touch and express such kindness and support. All of us who run the Clan Gun Societies on both sides of the Atlantic work many, many hours, all of it unpaid, but I really am not unrewarded. The kindness, enthusiasm, shared sense of fun and friendship I receive from both Clan Gun Society members living in North America and from members of Clan Gun Society of North America itself is especially kind and generous. I I'm honored to be in the unique position to know that the bonds shared across the Atlantic are incredibly strong and incredibly warm. There may be an ocean between us, but we are friends and family who meet 3 times a year in the pages of the Herald. Adrian Robinson. I don't think it should be a big shock why the Herald is so well done. Genealogist Mike Pearson has no report. Are there any other reports? Having none, old business, there is no old business. The scholarship program. We have quite a bit of money in the scholarship program and have received a grand total of 0 applications in over a year. Commissioners, members, go to the website, learn about the scholarship program, and if there's someone in your family, someone you know that is a Clan Gun Society member, have them fill out an application and get it sent off to me.
Is it only for historical studies?
There are limitations to the scholarship fund. I don't have that in front of me. It's on the website, but it is not for general studies. I won't even get into all of it. There's a handful of categories that are eligible. New business. The 2025 Outstanding Service Awards. The president of the Clan Gun Society of North America is tasked with the responsibility of conducting a yearly AGM like this one. Historically, we have tried to have the meeting in a different place each year, and obviously we want to include as many members as possible. So we bounce around North America as best we can. In my tenure as president, there has been a hesitancy from our regional commissioners when asked to host an AGM. I get it. It was no different when previous President Chuck Franz asked me to host the AGM. I didn't know what it meant. So it is my pleasure to recognize those commissioners who have answered the call to host. I have a confession to make. I didn't think of this my first year, so I would like to formally recognize Justin Mann for hosting the 2023 AGM and this year's host, David Hunsley. David, if you could come forward, please. We have these medallions. It says Outstanding Service, David Hunsley, 2025. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
An honor. Justin, yours will be in the mail. The next recipient is Ethan Waterman. Ethan Waterman designed the trifold brochures. He has also designed new banners, SEPS lists, items for Clan Gun members, commissioners, deputies that they can use. Tent banners, yes. So Ethan, I appreciate your contribution to Clan Gun Society, and you'll be receiving a medallion as well. And the next recipient we've heard from has a unique and significant impact on Clan Gun Society, not just Clan Gun Society of North America, but also Clan Gun Society, which is based in the UK, and in truth, the worldwide community of Clan Gun. Adrian Robinson, editor of the Gun Herald, has consistently brought the story of Clan Gun to our members through his words and photos. I cannot understate the importance to our clan or his love for our shared ancestry. It is my very great pleasure to recognize Adrian with his 2025 Clan Gun Society of North America Outstanding Service Award. Thanks, folks. It is now my honor to present to you the 2024 recipient of the Clan Gun Society North America Lifetime Achievement Award, Rich Gunn, who will say some words about the worthy recipients of this year, the 2025 Clan Gun Society of North America Lifetime Achievement Award. Rich?
I think a lot of you in Canada are familiar with Ted and Louise Gunn, who have been around for about as long as the society's been here. Ted was the original commissioner in Eastern Branch of Canada, and then he saw fit to include Louise, his wife, and his partner in just about everything. So Ted and Louise for years went all over the eastern part of Canada to represent Clan Gun at games and gatherings and do whatever they could. They hosted gatherings in their home. And so we want to recognize the two of them this year, even though they're retired and couldn't physically be here for health reasons this year. But we love you, Ted and Louise, and we have an award for you held by Chris, and we hope you appreciate it. We sure appreciate you.
Thanks, Rich.
Yep.
It says Clan Gun Society of North America Lifetime Achievement Award, Ted and Louise Gunn, 2025. And David Hunsley is going to be mailing this to you, Ted. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Ted and Louise, for your years of dedication. You are loved and admired by many. This next item of new business is not something that we can deal with here, and I dropped the ball on that. Our bylaws say that any amendments must be reported in the newsletter and on our website at least 30 days before the AGM. But I want it on the record that we will be addressing a couple of things at the next AGM. They are Article 2, the chief. It currently reads that the society recognizes and affirms Ian Gunn of Gunn and his heir as the one and only chief of the clan. Obviously, with Ian's passing, we need to update that. There are a couple of articles in that refer to the publication as the Gun Salute. We need to change that to the Gun Herald. And the one that I feel very strongly about, Article 5, it talks about the board of directors. The board of directors is basically made up of officers. And the second paragraph, first question, or first line says that any director may be removed by any time by the society president. I do not feel comfortable with that. I think that there's no way in the world that the president should be able to kick members off the board of directors solely. So at next year's AGM, I will be introducing a motion that the board of directors, through majority vote, can remove someone from the board of directors. And it also states that a majority of members at the AGM can remove. That part won't be changed. But I don't feel comfortable having that kind of power. Yes, sir.
I think it'd be a good idea before we make those amendments to the bylaws, to review the bylaws completely and see if there's anything else that needs to be changed.
Absolutely. The bylaws are available on the website. So we, the board of directors, will certainly be looking at them. And I would suggest that any member that is interested, look at those bylaws, shoot us an email, shoot me an email if you're see something that you feel needs to be addressed. And we'll get it squared away so that next year at the AGM we can vote on that. Thank you, Rich. Next item is the election results. This was an election year. Your next president will be Chris Wilson. First vice president will be Rich Gunn. Second vice president is David Donworth, and he replaces Cason Slaughter. I'd like to recognize Cason Slaughter for his several years of being the second VP. Thank you, Cason. Membership secretary will be Chuck Jameson again. Treasurer will now be Heather Rawls. Heather was our recording secretary. She is now going to be replacing Jared Gunn. Jared is our new recording secretary, since Heather is going to be the treasurer, is Ethan Waterman. And it should be noted that Ethan's father was the past president of the Clan Gun Society of North America. I have the results of the election. We sent out notification that voting would be done via the website, and I am pleased to report to you that we all were named unanimously into office. Next year, yes, sir.
Were there many votes?
We had.
It's the first time we've tried it.
This is the first time we go. We had 80 responses. I have no idea how many people have responded in the past when it was paper ballots. Not many more than that, so, okay. I'm pleased to announce the 2026 AGM will be held at the Oklahoma Highland Gathering, Choctaw Creek Park in Choctaw, Oklahoma. It's just east of Oklahoma City. The exact date is to be determined, but it's usually the second weekend in October. Our host will be newly elected second VP David Donworth and his wife Jennifer. Is there any other new business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Is there a second? All in favor say aye. Thank you very much, folks, for tuning in and watching either online or afterwards. The 2025 AGM for the Clan Gun Society of North America is hereby adjourned.